Hi, this is Aqms with the US stock highlights here on Share Talk for Tuesday, the 22nd of December. Starting off with Amtx, where we've got this massive gap through the 50-day moving average and through that falling resistance line there from October. Let's call that $2.90. While we're above that on an end-of-day close basis, and hopefully we'll head directly for a retest of October resistance through $5. Best case scenario target over the next 1 to 2 months is that August resistance line projection up to $7. If we get below $2.90, then obviously it's rather more difficult with a possible test for support back at the floor of the gap around $2.40. But ideally, $2.90 plus prevails on an end-of-day close basis after today's gap higher. Next up, a stock which is looking rather attractive, Aqua Metals. Here you can see that we've gapped up through that neckline resistance there around $1.70. While we're above that, we're looking hopefully to a line of resistance, an April resistance line projection currently pointing to a target as high as $3.50, which hopefully would be seen by the end of next month, and maybe the way things are going even by the end of this month. At this stage, only really well back below $1.50, the initial or the end of November resistance, and early October resistance would really delay the upside scenario, but hopefully we stay above $1.70 ahead of that $3.50 maneuver. Moving on to another situation which is looking quite attractive, Clean Energy Fuels Corporation. Obviously this particular space red hot since the pandemic started, so anything in the renewable or clean zone is loved and adored on a fundamental basis. On a technical basis, we've got the resistance there, $4.41, which was the late November peak. We've gapped through, obviously, much higher now, and above the floor of the gap there at $6.19 on an end-of-day close basis. Hopefully we can head up to the November resistance line projection from last year up towards $10, hopefully as soon as the end of next month. At this stage, everybody back below that old November peak, which is actually $5.25, would really delay the upside scenario. So while we're above $5.25, up towards $10, and ideally we don't go back below $6.19, just to make that clear. A favorite stock of the recent past has been Fcel Energy. Again, I would refer you to what I said about the previous stock. So anything with a business model related to the high-tech fuel area is loved. Here we've had a break of this November resistance line there running around $9.15, above that on an end-day close basis, and above the floor of the rising October trend channel, heading hopefully towards $17 as soon as the end of next month. A really rampant stock and a chart there for Fcel Energy. Another stock which has been doing rather well over the last few sessions is Fubo TV. Here we've had the vertical break of that. I suppose the key break here was that $32.73 high being broken last week, and really with the way we're going at the moment, really using the previous day's high as the end of day close stop loss. So yesterday's high 51.64. While we're above that on an end of day close basis, could head towards $95, even $100 by the end of next month. In fact, only back below, I suppose, the $40 level now, abandoning the chance of a $100 destination over the next month or two for Fubo TV. Another stock which has been on the radar for much of the year and is still going well is GameStop Corporation. Here we've had a break this week of the late November resistance line. That was running through $5, let's call it 15, and at least while we're above the resistance of the last couple of days at $16.30 on an end-of-day close basis, we're looking hopefully to hit that mid-August resistance line projection, currently pointing as high as $29, and hopefully that would be seen as soon as the end of next month. Moving along swiftly to a stock which has been covered here before, but is continuing to keep us guessing, I suppose. Nant Health here, we had the retreat from that brief spike at the end of last month up towards $6.60. Bounced or had a bear trap rebound from below the 200-day moving average, currently at $2.82. And while we're above that on an end of day close basis, looking for a retest, hopefully of the $6 to $7 area by the end of next month. All of this action really within a rising trend channel from April, a wide one, which makes it all the more difficult. But one would have thought that the rodeo ride that we've had over the last few weeks would have ensured that people who were with the weak hands long of this stock would be out, and now we've got hopefully stronger players, especially on the break back above the $3 level. Another stock which I've covered recently, which is doing well, is Onvo. Here you can see that we broke a gap through that resistance line from July at around $8 last week. At the end of last week, we've got 50 and 200-day moving averages both set up for a golden cross over the next few sessions, and that's traditionally the run-up to that's traditionally the strongest part of the cycle. So looking quite justifiably for a $19 plus target, which is post-May resistance, and weekly close above that should be enough to give us open up the prospect of a January-February target as high as $28 for Onvo. At this stage, anyway, back below today's intraday low at $13.32, really delaying the upside scenario, $13.32 on an end of day close basis. That's sort of neckline resistance on the way down. Just three stocks to go now. QuantumScape is next with a wonderful move through this rising trend channel that's been in place on the daily chart since the beginning of September. Floor of the channel currently running around the $75 level. At the moment, though, what we're saying is that while there's no end-of-day close back below yesterday's, well, it's probably better to go for today's intraday low at $101, then we're looking for a target as high as $175, hopefully by the end of next month. If you're trying to tighten up the stop, probably the tightest it could go at this stage is really today's open at 108.45. I don't think we can make it that much tighter than that ahead of a potential $175 target there for QuantumScape. Moving along to the last two here, and we've got, if we can get it to come through, we've got this stock which makes its debut, Sportsman's Wardrobe. Here we've got warehouse rather, not wardrobe. Here we've got a gap through that falling resistance line there from September. That was running around the $15 level, and while we're above that, looking for the top of the rising November trend channel from last year as high as $22.50, hopefully by the end of next month. I suppose if you're cautious of the shares, you'd wait for a clearance of the $17 area on an end-of-day close basis, which hopefully would get today or tomorrow at the latest. Finishing off with one of the more frequent flyers here on the US stock highlights, Rene Solar. Here we've got the shares gapping through that initial December resistance at $9.49. While we're above that, looking for a top of July trend channel target as high as $16, hopefully by the end of next month. So quite a strong selection today. Let's see how they work out over the rest of the year and going into the new year.